Supporters are the lifeblood of football. With their enthusiasm, their determination and their passion for supporting teams, they help make the sport the greatest in the world. But sometimes those fans can cross the line for what can be considered acceptable. So in recognition of that, this is Copa 90, and these are the top 5 mad fan moments. At 5, it's the Basel Fans for throwing tennis balls onto the pitch. After their match versus FC Luzern was delayed in order for a Roger Federer tennis match to be shown at prime time, the ultras of FC Basel decided to show their feelings for the decision. Just as the match was kicked off, the fans threw thousands of tennis balls onto the pitch. The referee paused the game, had the pitch cleared, and then restarted the match. Enter another 1,000 tennis balls and the match being called off. At 4 is the FC Magdeburg fans and their unique way in helping their team end a goal-scoring drought. We often hear players credit fans as the 12th man, acknowledging their support in the stands as a contributing factor for 3 points. So with their team rooted at the bottom of the table in the German 4th Division and without a goal in over 450 minutes, the Magdeburg fans equipped themselves with hundreds of brightly coloured, novelty-sized arrows and stood behind the opposition goals, directing their players where to put the ball. It worked, as the team finally broke their 5-game scoring drought. Unfortunately, the other side scored 2. At 3, it's the Rayo Vallecano fans and their cartoon-themed protest. Protesting about playing on a Monday night, some Rayo supporters use a unique method to get their message across, by using the cast of The Simpsons. A section of the Spanish club's ultras left their stand empty for Rayo's La Liga match against Eibar, and instead unveiled the famous Simpsons living room backdrop to protest against kickoff times. The fans were said to want the Spanish Football League to stop giving them home matches on Monday nights, and use The Simpsons to suggest watching such games on a weeknight is better at home. At number 2, it's the Inter Milan fans. Football creates a lot of emotions, and those emotions create a lot of objects being thrown onto the pitch, but none more obscure than a full-size Vespa, lit on fire and thrown from 3 tiers above. The story goes that Inter fans stole a moped from an Atalanta fan outside the San Siro, then smuggled it into the stadium, past rigorous security checks clearly, set it on fire and tossed it from the 2nd tier onto an empty section of the lower stand. And at number 1, our maddest fan moment yet, it's a Fenerbahce fan called Rambo. There is very little Fenerbahce and Galatasaray supporters will ever agree upon, but in the case of this mad Fenerbahce fan's mental state, they'd probably come close. The man is crazy. When Graham Souness, at the time manager of Galatasaray, planted the team's flag in the middle of the Fenerbahce home pitch, Rambo was only going to react one way. In 1998, this local ultra legend took it into his hands to deliver his reply. So on the eve of the opening day of the new season, Rambo broke into the Galatasaray stadium the night before, hiding and sleeping in an advertising hoarding. Once the game kicked off, he ran into the middle of the pitch, planted a huge Fenerbahce flag, and threatened anyone who dared pull it out with his knife. All in front of a full stadium of Galatasaray supporters. It was so hard to narrow that list down to just 5. I mean, if I could have added any more, I probably would have chucked in the time that I went to the Belgrade derby, being thrown around with 30,000 crazy ultras, flares going off everywhere. You can check that video just here, but that was our top 5 mad moments. If you think we missed something crazier, let us know in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe to Copa 90.